Morning. Um, Bit of a sad one this morning. I got a message from an old girlfriend, and her father had died. And friends who know me know that I lost my mother um, last Christmas, and it sort of set me thinking about death. And it's kind of like the last taboo, really. It's the thing that we don't really talk about. And yet, like they say in church, in the midst of life, we're surrounded by death. And don't we? It's a difficult one. We don't think I have a way of dealing with it. In the same sort of way that like in more primitive societies, they've got rituals and that to deal with death in the same way that they have like with rites of passage with like young boys becoming men. And I think we've got a problem here with that. I mean, I think a lot of the football violence has got something to do with that. And but like in sort of like I don't know, sort of some religions that I mean they're very got very definite rituals and ways of dealing with it. My father died 20 years ago, and I was in Thailand at the time, and I couldn't get back. He died very suddenly. I bet one day I was talking to him, the next day I got a phone call from him from home saying that he was in hospital, and by the time I got through to the hospital, he passed away. Poor old boy. And I mean, obviously I was devastated by that. But I was married to a Thai lady, and she and her family were very very supportive and very you know very supportive for the first sort of day or so. But we were kind of stuck there for about 7 days because it was like the Thai New Year, so there was no way we could get away. And after a while, their attitude to me was, "Well, come on, sort yourself out." And I said, "Well, my dad's just died," and but their attitude was, "Well, yeah, but he's gone to a better place now." And I've heard a story about someone said to the but the other side of that in a way is someone said to the Dalai Lama that he was very very sad. He was distraught when a friend of his died, and they said to him, "Well, you're one of the most influential Buddhists in the world, and surely you should be thinking, well, he's gone to a better place." He said, "Oh yeah, he's definitely gone to a better place." He said, "Oh, it's just that I miss him." And so yeah, it's quite a difficult one. And I'm getting to the age now where I think I go to more funerals than I go to weddings. And I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I was working with an old mate. I hadn't seen him for a while, and we were talking about acquaintances. And it's like talking about Dad's army. We were sort of going, "Well, what about so and so? Oh, he's dead. What about so and so? Oh, she's dead." It was, I've got to laugh really because I mean, it may seem a bit black that I'm laughing, but and yeah, it's a difficult one to deal with. I think I'll finish with this. There's a story of about the Buddha when he was alive, and a woman had just lost her baby. Her baby had died, and the time of infant mortality was rife, and not infant mortality, infant death. And she went along to the Buddha and wanted some sort of comfort. And he said to her, he said, "Right, okay," he said, "go to every house in the village, and if you find someone who hasn't been touched by the death of a child in the last year, and if you bring them to me, and we can talk about it." And she went to every house, and every house there was someone had been affected by the death of an infant. And I think the point I'm making with this story is that it's a matter of perspective, and it's not always easy to keep that perspective, especially as far as death goes, because it's so personal. It touches us so deeply, and and it's something that comes to us all. So I'll leave that there, and I promise I'll be a bit more bloody cheerful tomorrow. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.